Hello! West Alameda! It's after 7 o'clock. It's time to give a shout out. Thank you to all the frontline essential workers, to the doctors, the nurses, the medical staff, the longshoremen, the bus drivers, the truck drivers, the first responders, the farm workers, postal employees, those who work in the stores, the restaurants, the hotels, the teachers, the counselors, the parents. So please, if you can hear my voice, would you clap your hands, shout, honk your horns, make some noise? Yeah! All right, frontline workers, thank you. I'll see you guys over there. Hey, how's everybody doing, Facebook? Yep. Anyway, I hope everybody's doing good. And so, as always, I want to ask everybody to say, keep in your prayers and keep in your thoughts all those who have died from coronavirus all over the world and here in the United States. As of today, February 22nd, and as of 6:30 p.m., throughout the world is 2,487,217. Here in the United States, 512,590. And this is the information that I got off of YouTube. So anyway, today was a beautiful day. Okay, and I got out for a minute, wore my mask, and I'm asking all of you also, if you wouldn't mind keeping in your prayers and in your thoughts those who have tested positive for COVID-19, those who are in quarantine in the hospital, people who have to go to the hospital for surgery or other non-related coronavirus type illness or whatever. Keep them in your prayers and thoughts, and keep in prayers and thoughts all those who was going through things, And if you get a chance, maybe call somebody and just call and check up on them, or send them a text message and say, hey, what's going on? Just want to see how you doing, whatever the case may be. And do that. And prayers and thoughts for the people out there in Texas and all, where, they have all the freezing cold and everything. What's going on with people not having water. And I saw on YouTube somebody was got a bill for $16,000 for electricity. And, hopefully they can resolve that, not even charging for all that. That's a shame. I want to say their names: Breonna Taylor, George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, Aiyana Jones, Francisco Serna, Kwangchung Kao. And today, I want to say the name of this person right here, Patrick Warren Sr., 52 years old. He was killed by the Killeen, Texas Police Department on January 10th, 2021. Crime was, it was a mental health call by his family. That sounds weird, but I'm going to play this, which was on YouTube, and I want to let you judge for yourself. I mean, you already know how I feel, but basically want you to see it too.
I'm gonna walk back out. I don't work like this. Let me see your hands. Let me see your hands.
Hey, Paulette.
Clean, please. Hello. Okay. Okay. Hold on, man. Let me. Okay. Come on in. No. I'm gonna walk back out. I don't work like this. Give me the channel. Let me see your hands. Let me see your hands. I want to change the point. Let me see your hands. Get down on the ground. 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 You're gonna get tased. You're gonna get tased. One taste. One taste.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? Hey, Paulette. Yeah, this is I don't know.
We update you on the tragic story of a 52-year-old man from Texas fatally shot by police. Patrick Warren's family is speaking out for the first time about their call for help that turned deadly, and now they want the officer to be fired and charged. A Ring doorbell camera captures the chaos and soon a family's heartache when a Killeen, Texas police officer called.
So the first video was the police cam showing the police, and this here is the family. This is the son of Patrick Warren.
Saying different things like hallelujah, but he was super loud. We couldn't get him inside, and we're like, okay, something's going on. We need to alert somebody.
Mental health hotline. A lone police officer, now identified as Ronaldo Contreras, arrived at the scene.
We had no idea they were sending out a police officer.
In the video, you can see Contreras walk into the house. Moments later, he comes back out. Then Warren comes out of his home, walks towards the officer, waving his arms in the air. He appears unarmed. You can hear family members urging police not to shoot. Family and friends come into view as Warren and and the officer are moving away from the house. The shaky cell phone video captures what happens next. The sounds of the stun device followed by gunshots.
Hey, sit down! Sit down! Sit down! No, I told you not to use a gun!
The officer shot Warren 3 times as his mother, wife, and sons watched from the porch.
This is one of the worst police officer-involved shootings I've ever seen.
The family's attorney says the situation last Sunday should not have ended this way.
He showed up alone. He showed up untrained. He showed up hostile. All those things made for a deadly sort of cocktail, and this result could have completely been avoided.
The department says Officer Contreras, a 5-year veteran, has been placed on administrative leave pending the results of the investigation.
I try to think of things to just keep busy so I don't focus on that it's hard to breathe when there's still a officer walking the streets that killed my father.
And local and state law enforcement officials in Texas tell ABC News the investigation is ongoing. According to the family's attorney, they are asking for that body camera footage to be released from the shooting. We are told the footage will not be released as evidence until it's been turned over to the Bell County DA.
Okay, hey Paulette. So that was kind of hard. This man had a mental health breakdown, and the day before he got killed by the police, his family called and asked for a mental health resource officer, which is what they sent out. They sent out somebody who's trained to deal with somebody who's going through a mental breakdown. And so when the day before, when the other cop showed up, he talked to him. You know, he was able to convince Mr. Warren Sr. to go to the hospital voluntarily, and this is what he did. He did that evidently because the cop that showed up the day before talked to him with respect and was able, used all the things that all the training that he had to convince him to go get medical help. And that was on the day before. So the next day, on January 10th, Mr. Warren started having another episode where he's having a mental breakdown. And as you saw the video of what we saw, the cop, a regular Killeen, Texas police, showed up, knocked on the door. The son invited him in. And then you see where the father is standing in the hallway inside the house, and the father says, come on in. And the cop gets scared. Now, this is a police that's got 5 years on the force. Why are you going to be scared? Okay, we got to remember that Mr. Warren was having a mental breakdown, a mental episode. And so the cop says, okay, no, I'm not doing this. And he goes outside and shuts the door. According to the video that we all saw, Mr. Warren then comes outside and the cop is like, show me your hands, which he did. He showed his hands. His hands in the video is up and he's waving his hands and he's talking to the cop like, what do you want? And he's saying whatever it is he's saying. And then in the video, we see the cop tell him, I'm going to tase you, which is what he does. He tases Mr. Warren. Mr. Warren falls down. That's a big brother. I mean, evidently from what I seem to gather from when people get tased, the bigger you are, the more juice you have to use or else you ain't going to stay down. So for some reason, Patrick Warren Sr. gets back up. Now, you got to remember, his wife, his son, his daughter, and he has an 11-year-old son that has autism. They're all standing out there and they're yelling at the cop, don't shoot. They've already tased him. They're asking them not to shoot their father, their husband, their son. Hey, Sharon, how you doing? They're asking him, don't shoot. And he shoots them 3 times. Okay? 3 times he shoots him. And he ends up dying at the hospital. See, when we're talking about why people talk about defunding the police, my concept or my interpretation of defunding the police is to hire more mental health resource police officers, okay, that can go out there and deal with people who are having mental breakdowns. A lot of people are having mental breakdowns, especially with this COVID-19 thing going on, and people are stuck inside the house and they're going through it. So why do you need to have an armed cop come up and do this? And they invited him into the house, and the cop got scared. I mean, his whole voice changed. If you saw the video, the cop was like, and I mean, I know Mr. Warren. I know the dad was sounding like, all, like he was upset. But he was telling him to come in, and the cop got scared. Hey, Annetta, the cop got scared basically, and he went back outside. He should have never went there by himself. And the family requested for a mental health resource officer. That's what they were trying to get. They were trying for their father. The father was also a pastor. Not that being a pastor means anything nowadays, because, pastors get killed just like everybody else. But the thing was, this was not somebody off the block. This wasn't no like, I thought he just robbed the bank. I thought he just robbed the store. He was selling cigarettes outside on the street. He was running away. None of that. And remember, it was the family they called. In another interview, they asked the son, would you call the police for help for your brother? Because, the brother has a mental illness also, autism and stuff. And the son, you can tell by the way the son talks, is that he's not, he was like, I really don't know. I really don't know. We requested for a mental health officer, but what we got was a regular armed police officer. Now, this happened January 10th, 2021. I can't give you an update as to whether or not they filed charges, because this is like, February 22nd. So normally when they charge somebody, sometimes it takes them a year before they even, figure out what they're going to do or whatever. And did you hear in the video where they said Contreras was placed on administrative leave? Cops have this thing called qualified immunity, which that's why they always end up getting administrative leave. So what I'm saying is, I am not against the police, because you got to call the police in certain situations, right? What I am is that I want the cops to be held to the same standards that they expect for regular citizens. And I want them to be charged when they do something wrong. I don't want them to automatically get a get out of jail free card. This is not a Monopoly game. This is real life. Joyce Brown, and I always talk about Joyce Brown. Joyce Brown made a comment on here one day. She said, we want you, meaning the police, to not shoot us the way you don't shoot them. And I paraphrase it or put it a different way is, just do us the way you do them. If you're going to treat them with respect and you ain't going to shoot them and you ain't going to, beat them down and all that stuff, then don't do us. But if you're going to do us a certain kind of way, then do them the same kind of way you do us. That's all I'm saying. Just, you're going to beat us, beat them. You're going to shoot us, shoot them. You're going to kill us and we ain't did nothing, and kill them when they ain't did nothing. And I'll say it again. That's my little timer letting me know I can't talk too long. I gotta cut it. But that's my whole thing is, those cops in DC at the Capitol building, if anybody should have been afraid and fearful for their lives, it should have been those cops, especially the black police. They should have been real scared. But you notice they didn't kill nobody, shoot nobody. Well, one woman did get killed, you know, and a cop did get killed also. But what I'm saying is that's fear for your life, where you should have pulled out your guns and you should have shot somebody. And I'll say it now and I'll say it again. I'll say it every time we talk about January 6th. If those had been Black Lives Matter protesters, we would have been shot down before we ever got through the barricades. If it had been Black Lives protesters, they would have arrested more than 50 people that day of the protest. That's all they arrested that day. Now they're going out there and getting the videos, and they're figuring out who did what, and they're charging them. Okay, that's real good. That's real good. But why they didn't do that the day of January 6th? On January 6th, everybody that they got, they should have been snatching their butts up and putting handcuffs, putting those tie down string, you know them things they always handcuff us with when they ain't got regular handcuffs. I mean, I know what it is. I didn't. What you call them things? Huh?
Zip ties?
The zip ties. Thank you, grandbaby. The zip ties. So, you know, everybody, you know, and then they're charging some of those Capitol cops now for being in league with the insurrectionists. Come on, man. How many times have black police had to go out there and stand guard while Black Lives Matter protesters are protesting the killing of black and brown people by white police, and the black cops are standing out there and they're you know, they might even be sympathetic to what the Black Lives Matter protesters are talking about, but they still stand with the police. And then you had those white Capitol cops sitting up there opening the doors and letting the insurgents come in and all that other stuff. So all I'm saying is there has to be a change. And true equality is when they treat us the same way they treat them, or they treat them the same way they treat us. Whatever way it is. Treat us bad, treat them bad. Treat them good, treat us good. That's all I'm saying. Also, on Netflix, there's a TV series, can't talk, TV series called Amend. Get a chance to look at it. Amend, A-M-E-N-D, okay? Sharon, right, exactly. Sharon says that the cop that murdered George Floyd, they would not allow any black cop to guard the cell in his section. Right. They was worried. This is a whole double standard. But really, look at the movie on Netflix. It's the 13th Amendment, and then there's also another one called Amend. It's actually a series, and it has episodes. And it shows a lot about how the MAGA, Make America Great Trump people, the segregationists, the Ku Klux Klan, and all them other Republican right-wing insurgents. A lot of it has to do with their concept of what they call the lost cause, about they glorify the Civil War, and they make it seem like, you know, I mean, what other war? Hitler lost World War II. The Nazi swastika is outlawed in Germany. You don't have nobody running around having Nazi swastikas and having statues of Himmler and Göring and Hitler. But here in the United States, the Confederates lost the Civil War, and we got statues of their leaders, and we got Confederate flags. And then they want to talk about it's their heritage. So please, if you get a chance, look at Amend. I actually did a little video earlier today on my Facebook, so if you get a chance, look at that. But anyway, that's who I wanted to talk about for Say Their Name. So, Mabuhay, Amandla, Harambe, Ashe, Hokahe, Mahalo, Shalom, Namaste, Assalamu alaikum, wa alaikum assalam, Que Viva, you know. Right, Sharon, that's good point. Sharon made the point, y'all, that most of those statues and those flags came about after the Civil War in the 60s and whatever. So, hey, Sharon, I appreciate you being on here. I appreciate you being on here, Nicole. All of you, Norman, all of you that came out here, thank you. Appreciate y'all. And, you know, stay safe, stay strong, wear a mask. I'm wearing a mask every time I go out. That's all I can say. You know, so grandbaby, I should have some music to end this with, huh? I don't know. Because I have the music when it's like, I don't know. We need to come up with some music for this, huh? Like an ending with it. All right. Okay, y'all. I'm out of here. Prayers for all those all around the world and here in the United States. And you see, every day the number keeps changing. The number keeps changing. Peace out.